Okay, so let me repeat that part. So basically, the ancient Hawaiian mantra, Ho'oponopono e ikalamaiu mahalo aloha oi, right? Thank you, God. Please forgive. I'm sorry. I love you, right? That is like the foundational understanding of ACU, and the vision for connection and blessing and visualization. I mean, it's just such a foundational component. Alberto talks about it all the time. So in terms of the lineage, going from functionality to the launch to the coalition to end societal abuse, when we are successful with ending societal abuse using scientifically known and functional methods, for what goal? Like, what is the new society? And so the vision that basically connected through the land, through the indigenous, going and connecting to understanding the songs and the language, is all about Hanua, right? So Hanua is the world, right? It's the world as we in the conscious community want to see a world based on aloha, right? So a world based on aloha, a world based in love, in kindness, in learning, in playing, in enjoyment, on and on and on and on, right? So Hanua means a lot of things. And I'm not going to go into all the details there, but maybe eventually we'll get into everything. But the point is that it is in no way ends societal abuse, right? The trying to end abuse and prevent abuse is very, very different than living a life of love and enjoyment, right? Living a life of love and enjoyment in no way actually prevents abuse, which is part of the problem with a lot of the ancient and indigenous cultures, is that through love and just being, you hope everything's going to be okay, and it's not, because you get demolished by these systems that are just very, very attacking. And so we have a scientific model to end societal abuse, but then a separate thing is Hanua and actually living and existing in consciousness. So that is it's very important to understand that those are two totally separate things, and that's one of the core components that is I would see as a major problem in indigenous communities and cultures, that they believe that living in love is your protection against the abuse, but really it's not. There's scientific proven technologies and systems are how you prevent abuse. And you focus on that in the legal systems and all that to make sure that you're preventing abuse. But then you want to, when there's no abuse, you want to live in Hanua. But when there is abuse, you address it correctly and functionally. And it has nothing to do with, Hanua. It just has to do with like just doing the right thing at the right time, right? So in terms of like going forward from here, I would just love to get into the two most, well, I just want to get into the anthem, right? So as I was talking about before, Hanua means a lot of things, but most importantly, it means it is the all-encompassing concept of building a world based in love, right? And like an umbrella nation. It doesn't replace states or nation states, right? But the idea of thinking of something that's an umbrella, and a place for a safe space for refugees, right? Thinking about it as an umbrella concept of society, of rebuilding our society in love, right? Rebuilding an umbrella nation for all refugees, for all people in love. In terms of the anthem, though, the anthem is very, very important, and it's just really, really, this is for me what really kicked it all off and was just like, wow, this is it, right? And so it's going to be a while to really get the anthem clear and organized and understood and make sure everything is correct in terms of like the actual music and all that. But there's going to be music, and there's going to be like the whole thing. And it's interesting because it's like this, and for me, in understanding this anthem, it is a chant, and it's so beautiful. And like the idea of a social chant of consciousness is such a different concept than a nation state anthem, where it's just like, I pledge allegiance and I am for the state, I am da da da. This is completely different, and it's like based on ancient chanting. It's just really beautiful. So it goes like this: Ua Mao, Ke e o ka aina, Ke e o kaina, I kapono, o hanua hanua. And obviously we'll repeat this a lot of times. Hanua. All right. So ua mau ke e o kaina, I kapono, o hanua hanua. And this stands for land life, or the life of the land, or like land life, is perpetuated in righteousness for all the planet. So that's basically the chant, right? Land's life is perpetuated in righteousness for all the planet. And it's so beautiful because, when we talk about enjoyment and enjoying life, understanding the connection of all life, and for now we say land, and we say planet, but this could evolve easily to, solar system and, space, right? You could say space and solar system. You could say, galaxy. As you could evolve it to galaxy, you could evolve it to the entire universe, right? So there's nothing in Hanua that, Hanua is not contained. You can go beyond Hanua, because Hanua is like our entire planet, it's our world, right? But you could go to the concept of all of our solar system, of the galaxy, of the entire universe, and connect life perpetuating in righteousness for all of the universe. It's the same difference. Okay? So that's really the idea of the anthem of Hanua, and the understanding of, this ancient philosophy of basically connecting and understanding the life and how it's perpetuated in righteousness for all. And so, yes, we can add in the land, or we can add in space, or we can do the galaxy or the whole universe. But that can evolve over time. I think right now what makes sense in terms of building a society based on land and our planet makes a lot of sense. But we could evolve it into, other components as needed. And for me, the way that I'm seeing this anthem evolve would be, getting the tones right, getting the chant correctly, but then it basically repeats over and over and over in every language, in every culture, in every concept, in every perspective, that basically it's a never-ending chant that evolves with every single new iteration of consciousness and of people coming into existence. So for example, right now there might be somewhere between 100 to 1,000 variations, so that every single culture on our planet, every single language would basically create their own part. And so you would chant this for hours and hours and hours in every single language and every single culture to actually complete the entirety of the anthem for what Hanua stands for. So it's very, very powerful. And then as cultures evolve and new cultures and new tribes would come, so every new culture or new tribe or new, consciousness that wants to join would create their own version, and then everyone would sing that together and chant, their version, which is basically just the translation, into their language. So, for now we can just do English and Hawaiian, but from there it can evolve. But it's just a beautiful saying. And I think that's it. I think that's all I need to say. I guess I could repeat it one last time. Ua mau ke e o ka aina, I kapono, o hanua hanua. But let's go to Alberto now. So I'm done kind of presenting it.
Yeah, then. Ina mau, Inemao, hello, you hear me?
Yeah.
Inemao, can you repeat? Inemao?
Are you asking a question?
Yes, I'm not in the notes. I'm just
You're
listening.
not in the notes. Can you see my notes?
I'm very far away.
Very far away. Yes. I don't
Inemao,
know. But
¿cómo se
it goes like this. It goes una mau be o kaaina I kapono o hanua hanua. Land's life is perpetuated in righteousness for all the planet. Or you're going to say life is perpetuated in righteousness for all. Right? So the land and the planet are changeable because you could say ocean's life is perpetuated in righteousness for all the planet, right? You can say that space life is perpetuated in righteousness for all of the galaxy, right? So you can have those, but the key is that life is perpetuated in righteousness for all, right? That is the core of the anthem. Does that make sense? Life is perpetuated in righteousness for all.
So, I have something very important to say. Right? So, I made a very big. What you need to understand, Jay, that the way that you wrote the document, it's like in a way you understand better. Can we take a 3 minutes break?
We take a break in 10 seconds.
All right. So if you read the document, I told you that I read it 3 times. I'm not going into it because it doesn't feel right yet. Because you have described my practice in a way that so much better than I even imagined. Right? So you're starting to understand the practice better than I am. But I live it, I experience it, right? And I'm involved in a way very, very deeply. Especially love is a very say, uh, it's a very cheap. It's used in a very cheap way, right? Because there is so many different types. Like the love that I have for you is very different than the love that I have for my children or the love that I have for other other beings, right? So the word love is too broad. So it's good for the beginning. So this is something that we need also to discuss together. If you want to change the whole document to bring this evolution, which is very strong, but I'm going in places that, I mean, we can talk about it, but the fact is that maybe love is easier to understand from the beginning because love is very limited, right? So, and it's very prostituito. How do you say prostituito? So GPT help me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how do you say it? Like, it's very used in a very cheap way, right? Love, it's too broad, right? So finally, I got clarity because this is what they do. I get clarity. The moment finally I get clarity and everything starts flowing very quickly. And the time and the trajectory keeps. So what happened is that I was very conflicted within myself because first of all I was asking to God, right? God, but I mean, you are violent. You're very violent. God is, in my experience, in my opinion, God is, doesn't give you anything for free. The consequences when you disappoint your your purposes are very very strong. Even though, in my opinion, in my experience, God always forgives you. but the consequences stay. We need to pay the price. So I was asking to God, look, I don't understand why the universe is supposed to vibrate at the frequency of love to communicate at its foundational tissue level, right? So, which is God, which is where you go. It's embracing everything in my feeling, my experience, and my understanding. So I was questioning this. I said, also, God, why do you make me become such a necessary evil when I'm confronted to evil? Because the thing that I'm having most difficulty, and I understand I am an alcoholic, right? Alcoholic, you never become better. You just need to stop, otherwise you become. I don't want to say it. Unfortunately, thanks to God, I managed to finally uh, get rid of this demon, right? But getting rid was very natural. 23rd of January, I touched the single drop of alcohol. I was scared, but getting there was very suffering. It was the price of suffering. So I was questioning, but I was saying, God, but I don't understand how this is not, it's not flowing. They're not in harmony. Right? Love, it's all about love on one side, but in my experience, you're not just love. You're 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 a tough you're a tough opponent when you get when it's needed, right? Because God, you don't question God. Experiences you respect it and you love it. Then finally I got clarity. It's not love, it's purity, it's sacrality, and it's truth.
What was the second one?
Sacrality.
What
Sacralità.
is that?
Sacralità in Italian, I don't know. Sure.
It's an Italian word?
Yeah. I need to take a break.
Sacriety?
I need to take a break, guys. Drink some water. I'm gonna check the word in English and I'm gonna write it down.
Okay, 5 minute break.
Yeah. Mm, can see it more. Here it is. Hello? To take over or something? So thank you, Jay. First of all,
Yeah, I'm back.
yeah, thank you so much. It was perfect, right? So I was so that's why I wanted to take the break because I was so captured about what you were saying that I need a break to get serious. So this is something very important because you know I just found it out because through the suffering that I'm going through, right, with the separation, the failure of my family, it's heavy, it's very heavy. But the price that you pay for this kind of things is tough. The difference is that there's no way that you can skip suffering. Right? No way. I got arrogant lately. God put me immediately back in my place and made me understand that there's no way that you can avoid suffering. But once you're in the team of God, I believe I am, I feel I am, I mean, guys, yesterday I was 6.69. Of course, I'm unstable, but yesterday I had 2 days of peace. I was like standing completely, completely relaxed and just held by. It was crazy, guys. Like I had 2 hands here that were putting my arms up, like if I had a human being behind. No, not joking, not joking. So God is extremely real. It's the realest thing that I've experienced in my life. But God has all the great, in my opinion, in my experience, in my understanding, all the great things that happen to you in life, you need the suffering, hard work. There's no escaping it. No escape. But once you get to a higher understanding, like I believe I have reached today, Jay already possesses in a way that it's, it's different, but so much bigger. Uh, what you can start controlling is what kind of suffering you decide to endure in order to get to your goals, right? So you can decide that instead of we are suffering, what I'm going through right now, my, my heart broken, 1,000 pieces. Decide that no, I'm gonna do hard work. Now I'm gonna work 15 hours per day for 2 years. There is no weekend. There's no going out with friends. There's nothing. There's just being successful because it's so much bigger than us. That's what Jay and I have been doing. That's why we're here today. Jay has been doing this for 20 years. Guys, I am a complete other person since I met Jay. I started my transformation. So the point is that I've been away for 10 years, and people don't. It's impossible for them to see this because they have not experienced it. Right? So they keep treating me like I was before. Now maybe they understand, but it's not. This now is irrelevant for what I was saying. So Jay is not love. Love is a component, very important, but it's purity, it's integrity, and it's sacrality. I believe it's called sacrality, but maybe sacralità is the Italian word.
How do you spell it?
Yeah, I'm asking ChatGPT. 1 second. Sacralità, something that is saint. No? Sacralità in English.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
clarity. Clarity.
It's sacredness, holiness, holiness, holiness.
Ah,
Right?
holiness.
Is this? I also wrote it down. All right. This is clear. This flows because love was too limiting. It was killing me inside. Also, I wasn't understanding. I was so confused. I said, how can be everything about love, love, love? And then I become what I become, and I fight the time, and I And in my opinion, in my experience, my understanding, you God are pushing me to become what I become when it's needed. I have only one word, right? So it's done. And when I was reading back,
Vamos a dar un minutito.